Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my readers and viewers. Now we are at part 3, 13, lecture 13, in continuation to our series of lectures. Today we are going to discuss the remaining questions on PhD proposal defense. The last lecture I discussed a few, could not discuss the whole one. So again, I'm starting from how to defend your research proposal for a PhD project. So Julia Mahesh, she is a student of PhD, University of Toronto, Canada. She has a question about research project defense. She says, how to answer a project defense question? I think the answer for, as far as my witness is concerned, prepare for your project defense with the common questions to make their answers. For example, why did you choose this topic? You must know your topic is very important, suggested by your supervisor. You also have something that is the curiosity about the gap. That's why you chosen it. Briefly explain what your research project is all about. So this is all about, maybe it can be the overall project. It can be a mixed methodology research. Okay. Then what is the scope of the study? Scope of the study you have to describe. Okay. In which sense this study has a larger scope. Okay. Maybe the future is will be very useful for future researchers. This is one of the scope. We can change the variety of the courses in the university. It can be any scope. What is the significance of the study? So the significance of the study, you can see, you know the significance of your study, that this project will bring a new technology in this department. Did you bridge any gap from your study? So you can say, yeah, this gap is geographical gap. It can be a methodological gap. Okay, it can be empirical gap. So you can discuss according to your research. What are your research variables? Now you have to define. So basically, we divide research variables into two groups: independent variables and dependent variables. We must know what is the independent variable and how many dependent variables are there, and do you have some sub-dependent variables or not. So this, the formation. Better to make a conceptual framework, a chart, to make it very clear and show in your research proposal project. Okay. So another question from Australian National University, Jessica Roberts says that if she is asked a question, what is the purpose of my research? What should I reply? Your topic, I don't know. You are doing in computer science, you are doing in what field? Engineering, you are doing in medical science. The purpose of the main, I can tell you as a whole, the research, the purpose of the research proposal, you can define. The research proposal is, I think, that's your chance to explain the significance of your project to the organizations or to the committee chairman, to the examiners who might wish to fund, or maybe if this organization have to fund, or maybe you can get a fund after defending, or otherwise support it. They can support it. They can get a support from the university. Ideally, it will demonstrate the quality and importance of your project, as well as your ability to conduct the proposal research. So that's very important. Sheena Zhan from China, Fudan University. She says, what are goals of a proposal? The proposal of the written proposal, I think the goals are very clear, is to save your time by, number one, identifying a specific goal and establishing and pursuing that goal is worthwhile. And number two, developing a concrete strategy for meeting those goals and verifying that the proposed strategy actually matches to the stated goals. So Mr. Kim Toshi Abe from Tokyo University, he's asking, I'm a music teacher. I've been doing a PhD in music technology. I need your guidance about research proposal format. If you have subscribed my channel, I can send you a research proposal format of technology. So I will see, or if you send by email, okay, so also I can send you, or if I see your email on the YouTube comments, I see you subscribe my channel, so definitely I will do it. I think a research proposal is a concise and coherent summary of your proposed research. It sets out the central issues or questions that you intend to address. It outlines the general area of study within which your research falls, referring to the current state of knowledge and any recent debates on the topic. So that you must know. That's why, because all you relate to technology, you know your project better. Now, another student, Shilin, is from Kyoto University, Japan. She says, how can I do the best introduction in the proposal? Introduction, as I have already explained, introduction is an initial pitch of an idea. It sets the scene and puts the research in context. The introduction should be designed to create interest in the readers about the topic and proposal. It should convey to the reader what you want to do, what necessitates to study, and your passion for the topic. It's all about you have to give in the introduction. According to this, you can make your introduction. What makes a good introduction? Then again, she said also, please, I'm emphasizing what makes a good introduction. So yeah, this is a good question. A good introduction should identify your topic. According to me, it should provide essential context and indicate your particular focus on the essay or maybe in the project. Okay. It also needs to exchange your reader's interest. A strong conclusion will provide a sense of closure to the essay, but again, placing your concepts in a somewhat wider context. As conclusion is to funnel up the whole situation of the full project or essay. Same as introduction is also something that is starting in the start with the introduction. The audience can understand what you want. And she says, really, it's in our university, they are emphasizing on 4 parts of the introductions. If you can, please help me to introduce these 4 parts, I can do better. Yeah, Kim, you have to, I think, done in this set of 4, most of the universities, I know in Japan, South Korea, and Malaysia have the same setup. The first one is maintain your audience attention in a favorable manner. Okay. Second one, establish audience relevancy. This is also very nice because people, they want to come to know something. For example, in one of the international conference, I went to Malaysia that was conducted in my university, in Malaysia Pahang, in Pekan campus. So there are a lot of presentations were there on the research. When I started, I defined what was experimental research with the outcomes and how will I do my qualitative research analysis with the help of NVivo 12 software. At the end, when I finished, people were clapping. When I asked them, before me, there were in this room, because there were many rooms in the university at the same time, 200, 300 people, they were doing it. In my room, 3 people were before me, and the last one. Why you clapped? They said because we here came to actually know clear methodology, and your research was very clear. The experimental outcome you defined very nicely, and also your survey results, and also the software you are using. You define SPSS very nicely. The outcome, how can we do? So this should be very clear. That's why most of the journals, when you are going to publish your research, during PhD, you have to do many research papers, and you're going to publish maybe 7 or 8 research papers, especially in Scopus or Web of Science. They also ask you metadata, and they ask you to provide SPSS files, and also they ask you some journals they ask you to provide NVivo 12 files, or they can ask you for Atlas TI8 files, because they can themselves they can say whether the data was fed nicely in the SPSS logbook, okay, code book, sorry, and whether the analysis was made rightly. They can again copy that, and they can do the analysis to see whether as a statistician you have done it very well or not. That's why I point out this one relevancy. It can be one relevancy. There can be many relevancies. So you have to think about it. Number three is reveal the central idea of your speech. Okay, that's very important, about which the whole thesis revolves around. Okay, review the main idea is the last one. Review the main idea that you will develop. Main idea. Main idea is actually your title. That starts with the main idea, because title represents your variables, independent and dependent. So that's the whole one. Now, and the next one is Sitara Rahman and Javed Akhil. They're from Seoul National University, South Korea. Here we have the PhD proposal defense next month, but still I have not started it. We have not started it. Please guide me how to begin a proposal. That's still a problem. Beginning something is very tough, especially started writing, start writing a PhD thesis, or start writing a research paper, or start writing a defense project. For, I think steps to write your own project. I think I have some tweaks for you. Step one can be define the problem. Step two can be present your solution. Step three can be define your deliverable and successful criteria. And step four can be state your plan or approach. Step five can be state your plan or approach, and next step will be outline your project schedule and budget. Okay, and next step, tie it all together. Last step, you can edit or proofread your proposal very nicely, because you are doing PhD. There should be no errors. If there are spelling errors in the PhD defense project, how would it look like? So, and if there are comma and full stop errors or some other errors, so for punctuation, for language, style, grammar, everything should be proofread very nicely. Especially the research terms should be proofread very nicely. Okay, now next is Sadaf Batul from University PSL, France. University PSL, that's France. What is the best way to describe the objectives in a proposal? I think how to write the goals and objectives of proposal. Number one, you have to state objectives in quantifiable terms, because if you want to get a project, granted project, okay, state your objective in terms of outcomes and process. Objectives should specify the results of the activity. And also objective should identify the target audience, or commonly the community being served. That's very important. So I think, sir, your second question is how many types of proposal are there? It depends on your project, whether you are doing a business project, you are doing a granted project, a funding project, or just on simple only on English literature. But that's very simple. Uh, so there are three distinct formats, categories or formats of business proposals: formally solicited, informally solicited, unsolicited. So this is what I can say. Use in the last question you asked, research proposal PPT format. Yeah, if you have subscribed my channel, please send me email at my email address interstudies2000@gmail.com. If you cannot find the email, you can type in the YouTube comments. I can also send you, or you can go to Facebook account where we have visited on the top page. So I will send you back if you have subscribed my channel. Please subscribe because that will motivate me to upload more videos about PhD. Because now different type of questions are coming. Number one, somebody asked me how can we do a survey research. The other one, how can I develop a questionnaire. The third one was how can I conduct interviews, because some students are in the process of collecting data. One student said he has a research that assessment is included. How can I do assessment? Can you please define? So this all formats I have to send you. You have subscribed my channel, I will send you by email. Uh, the last one is definition of research proposal is you must understand that you have to define first when you write the format. The first one in the you will see the you must understand your what is the research proposal. Then start making the format. So that I'm talking to you. A research proposal is a document written by a researcher that provides a detailed description of proposed program. Okay, it is like an outline of the entire research process that gives a reader a summary of the information discussed in the project. The importance of research proposals. So that's one of the thing, and the format, as I told you, introduction, literature review, objectives, questions, okay, and design for research methodology, design, okay, theoretical framework, uh, conceptual framework, validity of the instruments, and then you see different instruments, what type of instruments are there, variety of instruments, okay, and how you collect data, okay, how much time you need, timeline, okay, what recommendations you expect, what conclusion of the result you expect, okay, and that's all. And also in the beginning of the introduction, when you finish your literature, before finishing your literature, you must explain problem statement and define the gap nicely. Bilal Bhatt from Gift University, Gujranwala, he says, how do you develop a research proposal? Uh, I have already explained it. It is an outline of the background and context of the research topic or research issue. Reasons why the specific topic issue is important is rational. Okay, review of key literature related to a topic or issue, that is very important. An outline of the intended research methodology, including consideration of ethical issues. Okay, you have second question, Bilal. What is the kinds of proposals? I have already said, sorry, cited proposals. Uh, Determining the proposal type, this is the first one. Proposals submitted in response to a specific call issued by a sponsor, and unsolicited proposal. Sometimes there are pre-proposals, okay? For example, before getting visa, you are asked to have a proposal, one-page proposal by one university, okay? Sometimes 5 pages, 4 pages, according to their format, pre-proposals. Or then continuation or non-competing proposals, renewal or competing proposals, okay? Uh, so this question, when you ask, you need a body of the proposal. This means you ask me for the format of the proposal. So for this one, you have to subscribe the channel, send your email to my email address, or on the YouTube. You can give comments if you are on Twitter with me. You can give me comments on Twitter. You can send your email address on Insta. You can send on Facebook group. Applied linguistics group. So uh, I think most questions questions about a format. I have to. I'm thinking to have a special lecture on the format of research proposal in PPT in PowerPoint. So let's wait. Subscribe the channel. How many subscribers I have that will motivate me to prepare a format, general format, and to discuss with you PowerPoint slides. Okay. Okay, I think the main body of the proposal has to convince the reviewers and the donors that the work is original, new, and relevant. The methods are appropriate, the work proposed is feasible, and the applicant and the team members are capable of conducting the activities and administering the project. Okay, so this is very important. Huma Bloch, Technical University of Munich, Germany. She says how to create a thesis defense presentation that shows your work at its best. I've explained it. I think when you say at its best, define your signature idea, know your audience, keep each side focused on one point, less is more, okay? Carefully consider your ideas, your typography, okay, grammar, okay, proofreading is necessary. Dial down your data. Consistency is key, okay. Before writing your PhD proposal format, you must ask me if you have subscribed my channel to send you minimum 12 free presentation templates for a thesis defense. Then you select the best one. Jane Test from University of Amsterdam, Holland, Netherlands. She says, what are the characteristics of a good research proposal? 5 features of a successful research proposal. Cover the basics, describe the relevance, emphasize the significance, explain the approach, and highlight the expertise. Okay. Your second question is, what are the goals of a proposal? The purpose of the written proposal is to save your time, identifying a specific goal and establishing that pursuing that a goal is worthwhile, and developing concrete strategy for meeting those goals, and verifying that the proposed strategy actually matches the stated goals. Okay. Kazi Binte Hasri from University Malaya, Malaysia. She says, which is the main heart of the proposal? Description of research proposal research, including method or approach. The comprehensive explanation of the proposed research is addressed to other specialists in your field. This section is the heart of the proposal and is the primary concern of the technical reviewers. You try to understand. The second question was, what are the objectives of a research proposal? I think the objective I have already explained, but again I will tell you, the objective of the research proposal are to help the researcher to define the contents and the plan and execute a research project, and to inform potential collaborators and supporters about the topic. I think the proposal that is produced during the process can be submitted to agencies for possible funding, or your university can do it. Kim Lee from Taiwan, she says she is a student National Taiwan University, NTU. How do I present the aims in my research proposal? Basically, there are 5 tips. I've already explained them. Explicitly state the aim and objective of your research. Determine the number of aims that should be in your proposal. Okay. Write them with broad terms. Make it short. Write a good conclusion. Okay. Zahra Batul Hussain, University D. Buenos Aires, UBA, Argentina. She says, what is the research proposal with example? I'm very surprised which part of the work The students are Indian Pakistani. Huh? I think a research proposal is a simply structured formal document that explains what you explain to research. Your research topic, why it's worth researching, uh, your justification, and how you plan to investigate it, your practical approach. That's the thing. Okay. Uh, Now you have next question about possible questions in proposal defense. Yeah, in few sentences you can tell us what your study is all about. The question is simple, right? This is you can answer about your study. What is your motivation in your study? Now you must be careful. Okay, this I say, and they say, what is your motivation? Now you should be careful. That is very important question. But first question, in a few sentences, you can tell us what is your studies all about. That question is simple. Did you bridge any gap from your study? That's very important question. You have to define the gap. You have to see how you can bridge that gap. Why you choose this title? That's very exciting because you must say my title is catchy. Why? Because this will do this means on against variable, include recording the variable. I've written my title, and that has good significance, and that makes the scope of the study broader. What is the significance of the study that I have already explained? You can say uh, it can be very good for the future researchers. It can bring revolution in this technology, blah blah. Okay. In this geographical area, it will be new and novel study. What limitation did you encounter? That's a very important question. Sometimes you cannot get proper results because there are some limitations. For example, you are not allowed to get data from girls section of a hospital. So if you only got from the male section, if you could have got from the girls section, the result would have been different. Okay, that's one of the reasons. For example, you got data due to COVID-19 remotely, but if you had been there for personal interview, the results would have been better. So that makes a lot of difference. Okay, so all this which I'm discussing, Stephen Knudsen is doing PhD from WVU University, physics department. He said, he said, I think the question he's asking, is there a difference between proposal defense and thesis defense? Yes, a lot of difference. You defend your proposal after you do a literature review and before you do the main part of your research. Your thesis defense is done after you have done your research, written your dissertation and a slide deck with the presentation. After presenting your slides, you will be asked lots of questions, and you may not, you may end sweating and stammering after a while. Rule of thumb: if you make it 75 minutes in 15 minutes after the public leaves, you will be okay if you don't say anything too terrible. That's the difference between both of them. To summarize, I will say, because I don't have much time to answer the question, this is my last video about the PhD proposal defense tips. And it's good, a lot of questions I discussed. Many students will get understanding and many will have views. Please, when you view my video, you can subscribe. To summarize, I will say that the dissertation proposal defense tips: anticipate questions in your presentation. Try to answer all of the questions you expect your committee to ask. Look for weaknesses. Practice avoid wordiness. Okay, when you are presenting your PowerPoint slides, that's very important. Be able to pronounce the words correctly. Watch recordings of previous defenses. If I can say previous 12 formats you have to see before presenting your slides, And I will say minimum 12 defenses you have to see the videos. If you can get some videos, the students, those who have already done it, okay, that will help you. So there can be many, but consider only the possible questions in a proposal defense. Well, there can be a lot of unlimited questions, different people, different subjects. But I considered in a few sentences, you can tell us what is your field is all about. This question is simply right. What is your motivation for this study? Now you must be careful. That's a very important question. Did you bridge any gap from your study? Very important. Why you choose this title? Very important. What is the significance of the study and what is the limitation of your study? That's again, I'm repeating to summarize. Thank you very much. Don't forget to describe my channel. Okay. And those students who are in MPhil and MS and Master in English, we're going next lecture for them, discussing their syllabus, and then some informative lectures on their course, for example, MS English or MPhil English, Linguistics. We start next lecture one syllabus discussion, and after that, their according to their papers, start discussing questions. And MA English, generally, first discussion of syllabus. First paper is classical poetry, Geoffrey Chaucer, very famous. In everywhere in the world, he is the man who was discussed in 14th century. So the first question will be started from there. Thank you very much. Have a nice time with me, inshallah. And don't forget to subscribe and make me able to do, okay, make me able to upload better videos for you. Give your questions. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Have a nice time.